Alright, what is up, fellow political friends of YouTube? It is Mick here from Chain-Smoking Politics. In this video, I really want to talk about Cliven Bundy. This guy. Oh, man. Where to even start with him? Well, you know what I'll do is I'll give you the rundown on his little past here. Up till the late 80s, early 90s, he paid the same fee that every other rancher paid to graze his cattle on public lands which is owned by everybody in the United States, because it is a government-owned land. Well, he decides one day, and this is what my theory is behind this, and there's some supporting evidence for this, but basically, it was cutting into his profits a little too much to pay this fee. Plus, he couldn't herd all his cattle. I think there's a limit of 250 cattle at a time, something along those lines, and the fee was, I don't know, it was something nominal for what he was doing. So Mr. Bundy got greedy, threw all his cattle on the land, and basically the government sued him. And it's been this ongoing fight back and forth. He's lost every court case. He has no standing, and now he owes the federal government about $1 million, a little over $1 million. And now he's especially screwed. So what he did was turn this into, and he's got a lot of people who believe him, but turn this into a situation of, it's the government being tyrannical against him. He is being oppressed. Oh my goodness, he is special. But the sad thing is all these people believe it, because as the people who watch this from the United States, you understand this sentiment and what's going on with some of the extreme right-wing political people, and even more so maybe leaning towards the libertarians. But he owes so much money to the federal government now, and of course all these other ranchers, all these other cattlemen and stuff, they followed the rules and are having no issues. But the issue with Cliven Bundy is he feels that he is above the law. And this same thing goes for people who complain about getting arrested for smoking marijuana. Marijuana isn't legal, so there should be no remorse for you getting arrested for it. Now, whether I agree it should be legal or not, that's a different story for a different video. But it's still a law, and you should follow it if you don't want any problems. Well, Mr. Bundy, his greed took over, and that's how he feels. He feels that, and whether he believes it's tyranny deep down or not, I don't know. He probably does, but he's got a whole bunch of people now who feel that it's tyranny. And geez, even some of these extreme right-wing people think this is going to be the start of the American Civil or Second American Civil War. And again, that's ridiculous. And what's going to happen with this is the federal government's going to swoop in, they're going to arrest Mr. Bundy, and they're going to sell off his cattle. That is what's going to happen. I was talking about this earlier, but the only two things that are guaranteed in life are death and taxes. And, all these other cattle guys, all these other ranchers have no issues. And, the sentiment with all these, I think it was maybe 50% of the other ranchers in the area pretty much feel, he's lost his court cases. He should start paying up and get things right and start following the rules, because they've been following the rules for years. And why should this guy not and have nothing done with him? And anybody who really believes that this guy on the right, he's playing you. Bundy is playing all these people just so he can try to get out of his $1 million, his $1 million in basically fines and penalties, because he didn't want to pay the nominal fee because he was greedy and losing out on his profits. So basically, he wants to graze his cattle on property owned by everybody in the U.S., because it is federal land, not pay any fees on it, and then sell us the beef and make even more money off that. And it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that he's got people following him because he's being oppressed is just, And I think it's more people just looking for an excuse to be against the federal government if you're a right winger. So, yeah, thanks for watching.